Hello to all my followers. In the last 2 weeks, I have learned a significant amount of information. I have learned about what it's like to be a white, cisgendered, heterosexual woman who has lived with privilege most of her life and is now seeing people around her put down by other people. I'm not going to say I didn't have my struggles in life, because I did. But I am recognizing that other people have had it way worse than I ever could have. I saw a comment today. I learned that people in marginalized communities always made me feel safe because they were afraid of me. Because cis, heterosexual, white women can cause more damage to these communities than help them. I cannot be an ally to someone by speaking over them. The only thing I can do is amplify their voices. So I'm changing my content from here on in. I'm done arguing with the right, because the ones that are left on the right aren't really worth arguing with anymore. And I'm done arguing with the left, because there's people on the left who have different ideologies than I do. I'm done arguing, period. I want to use my time to learn and to educate. I have realized in the last 2 weeks that people in these marginalized communities, when they stand up for what they believe in, it is extremely dangerous for them. I have watched a group of mean girls attack an autistic man because he was a man. They doxed a black woman because she was smarter than they were, and then tried to silence the voice of a gay man in the community, all because they felt their pronouns had been disrespected, and the apology given wasn't enough. I cannot speak for marginalized groups. I'm not one of them, and I will never speak on behalf of them. But I also recognize that many of them are unable to speak on their own. Maybe they work as a public servant and can't speak about their ideologies or their gender or their political background or their feelings. Maybe they're not allowed to express those opinions. Maybe they're not allowed to talk about social injustice. Maybe they have a family member who's abusive and they can't speak out loud. Maybe they have parents that disagree with their belief systems. Not everybody has the privilege that I do of standing up and yelling out loud. So if that's the privilege I've been given, then I'm going to use it for the right reasons. From now on, I want to hear your stories. If you are part of any marginalized community, I want to hear your real life stories. And I will speak them for you. I will take the hate in the comments. I will take the issues that they have. I will keep you safe, but your story needs to be told. Not only does your story need to be told so that others can understand the truth, but because right now we are at risk of losing our history to AI and governments that want to control the narrative. So for the sake of posterity, I want to record real human interaction. I want to do videos of real people's stories. And if you're a member of a marginalized community and something has happened to you that you want to share, I will share that story and keep you private. I will also not censor any stories based on my personal beliefs. I will not correct your story. I will not change the narrative of your story. And I will not assume to defend you or understand where you're coming from. My goal is to create a safe space where you can come and tell your story and not be at risk of harm. Now remember, this is going to be a safe space. So if you come in here with negativity, bigotry, racism, or hate, then of course I'm going to kick you out. But I believe that every human being is deserving of love, even the people I don't agree with. So I'm going to be changing my name. I will now be referred to as the human megaphone, because all humans have a voice. And I promise you, I will not speak for you. I will not speak on your behalf. I will only amplify your voice. Because in just the last week, I saw 3 wonderful, wonderful creators come out of the woodwork and start doing live conversations with other people in our group. It was so wonderful to see them feel accepted enough to come out of their shell, to share their stories with us. That's the kind of environment I want to have. And if you want to be part of that nurturing environment, I encourage you to join. Any group of marginalized people is welcome here. Please keep in mind, though, I do want to know your horror stories, but I also want to hear your positive stories. What are some of the wonderful things that have happened to you based on the fact that you are different? How do you see the world differently from other people? How do you interact? From Schmex workers to the oil field workers, From someone living on disability to someone working in the top executive offices. From the trans and LGBTQ community to the Black community or the Indigenous community. Have you been a victim of SA? Have you been a victim of a narcissistic, abusive relationship? What are the things you've learned and you want the world to know? What are some of the wonderful things you experience in your communities? And where, as a white woman, am I falling short in helping you? I would like to balance my content with 50% positive stories and 50% negative stories, just to give a fair balance. The goal is not to create a negative space around marginalized communities. It's to create the truth. So, if you have a story, go out there, make a fake account. I don't care. Send me a DM. Tell me your story. Tell me who you are, what marginalized group you are a part of, and what the issue is you're dealing with, just so I know who's talking. Please don't include any names of live people or anything like that. This is not a place where we're going to start calling people out specifically. Give the person in your story a fake name. From the littlest comment to the biggest essay, I want to hear your story, and I want to tell it. Let me be your human megaphone.